Yeah. No, I was just saying that a little bit stressful, but then other than that, I'm healthy and the family is healthy. So thank you for asking, Ajahn. How are you doing?
Okay. So do you have any?
Indeed. Okay.
Okay. You got questions? What's your name?
Yes, my name is Indra.
Oh, yes.
So I send the question through email, but I can just go through the question right now. During meditation, I focus normally on the nostril, and that I can get really intense focus. However, there are a lot of pressure in here when I do that, and between my eyes here. So what I did is I try to visualize a far distance, and that kind of relieve the pressure. But I get less concentration. So I keep going back and forth, and it's kind of
to focus. So when you do, you have to force your mind to do it. And then your mind becomes reactive to your forcing it. So like creating some hindrance. So try to see if you can recite a chant or something for a while first. And then after that, see if you can come back and focus on your breath.
okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Is this all the question you have today?
I do have another question. It's still meditation. I'm just wondering if should I find a different objects instead of a on my breathing, because some teachers say depend on your vices. For example, like some people attach too much to the material thing. They suggest to like visualize a something like a corpse to realize that impermanence. In my case, maybe I could. I normally the thing that I notice the most that I'm lazy, and also I don't have a strong a dedication when I'm doing something. So I wonder if I should just focus on breathing, or do you have any other suggestion object for meditation? Thank you.
Well, basically, before you can meditate successfully, you need to develop mindfulness first. So try to be mindful from the time you wake up. Try to stop your mind from thinking. Try to stop your mind from running away from the present. So you can use a mantra like Bhutto, Bhutto as you go along doing activities that normally doesn't require any thinking. Or you can focus on your body activity itself. Just force your mind to stay with the body activity and don't let it go think about other things. If you need to think, then you stop your body activity temporarily and then think all you want to think mindfully. Once you finish thinking, then you stop thinking and then continue on with whatever you have to do. This way you can then have mindfulness. And then when you meditate, you can use a mantra if you like, or you can recite the 32 parts of the body, hair of the head, hair of the body, and so forth. So this is another different method of meditation that you can use. So try to see how it works, okay?
So do you have to memorize that 32 parts, Ajahn?
Yeah, you have to, because then you don't have to open up the book. First you learn. It's only 32 parts. It's like ABC, you know? Only it doesn't require all that.
And you have it.
Great wisdom to be able to do it, you know. So,
Okay.
but I think people don't like the 32 parts basically. They don't like to look inside their own body. They have
Yeah.
an aversion for it, for their own body. Even though they're living with their own body from the time of birth until now, they still never look at their own body, especially the inside parts of the body. So try it. It's a good method. To,
And it's okay to just focus on the English, right, Ajahn?
on the what? On the breath?
On the 32 part, we just use the English and that's
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So,
Any language you
okay.
like. You can use
Okay.
Pali, you can use English. If you're Chinese, you can use Chinese translation so that you know what part are you thinking about, reciting about. First, you just try to remember the names first and recite the names forward and backward. This forces you to concentrate more when you have to recite backward. Okay. Then after reciting for a while, then you might be able to watch your breath. Eventually, I think you should come back to your breath because that's when the mind can stop working and then it can then become fully calm, fully still and have upekkha and peace and happiness. But the reciting of the 32 parts of the chanting is to bring your mind down from restlessness, from busy activity to less activity. And then after you feel that you're calm enough to focus on your breath, then you go ahead and focus on your breath. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Now, do we visualize when we mention the body part? Do we visualize the part?
When you first started, you don't need to. Just remember the name first. Once you have remember the name, you want to visualize each part, you can also do that also. Or you can choose any part you like and use it as your object of meditation instead of using your breath. Like after you feel like you can focus on one object, say the skeleton, for instance, then you.
Very good. I need to do more. It wasn't long enough, I guess.
You still working?
So yeah, I have actually a question for you about this because I actually haven't been working at all since the last time I worked was the end of December, and it's been really wonderful. But I'm starting again next week. I'm gonna just be working 2 days a week. So it's not that much, but I've already started making preparations for it, and I've already noticed. So for the last 8 months, I noticed that my meditation has improved, and my mind states have improved, and my mindfulness has improved. But already I noticed that there's a bit of a decline in the quality of my meditation, even though I'm trying to meditate around the same amount of time. The quality is not as good. So do you think that for me to improve at all, I'm gonna have to completely quit my job, or do you think that I can work with this like 2 days a week, or?
Well, idealistically, you should not be working at all, and then you can concentrate on all of your time on meditation practice. But maybe it's not possible because you still have to make some money to support yourself. Then you just have to do whatever you can with what you have. You know. But ideally, it's good to quit the job. Then you don't have anything to worry, anything to do with your job. You know. That takes away one of the obstacles. Because if you do working, your mind still have to think about work. And when you work, you think about, you have to use your thoughts. And when you come home, your thoughts still think about the work at the office. So you'll find it very hard to meditate because it's going in the opposite direction. Meditation goal is to stop thinking, while working is to use your thought. to achieve your work. So eventually, if you want to really get anything out of meditation, then you want to do it full time, if it's possible. If not yet, then you just have to do whatever, make do with whatever you can right now. Okay, you got any question today?
I think that was everything. I think with my job, I have to talk a lot, and it's really difficult to. I always end up regretting something. Like, I don't say anything bad, but I always end up regretting something, or, because I have to talk a lot for my job. So.
Go slower and think before you say. This is also practicing mindfulness at the same time. Just keep watching what you're gonna say before you say it. Then you won't regret it after you having said it. You don't need to be very quick with your speech. You take time. You take your time. Think well before you say it. Okay.
Thank you.
No question. No, not right now. Anyway, huh?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Well, let me go to Sri and check. Hi, Sri and check.
Hello, Ajahn. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ajahn.
Quite a while we use this Zoom at this time.
Right, I think you were feeling not well, right?
I'm recovering, but
Better?
my voice is slow. It takes a little while as you have this mucus lingering, but no fever or anything like that. But it's okay.
Yeah, thank you for even though you're sick. Thank you for still.
Well, not really sick. If I'm really sick, then I have to be in bed. If I can get up and do things, then I'm not really sick. Partially sick, let's put it that way, but not completely sick.
Right.
How's your practice?
I've also been sick, so I find that it's a little hard. But I just relax and let my body rest and just take a break and not and I'll go back like when I feel better, because I think I just feel that the body is just like drowsy and I can't really. So I think I just let myself have a little break, few days, and then I'll go back.
I heard you're keeping the 8 precepts more now.
Right, 2 days, and then this week is a long weekend, so I think we'll try 3 days this week, because it's a long weekend. We have a Monday as a holiday, so we can have 3 days this week.
In Thailand, we have 4 days.
Wow.
We have what we call recompensation. Normally we have this Songkran holiday during April, but we had a shutdown during that time, so we didn't have any celebration or a day off. So now the government is giving us back here instead. So we have two extra days, Friday and Monday.
Songkran, is that the water one, the one that?
That's the New Year festival. Because it was during the lockdown, so no one could come out of the house to celebrate because we were afraid we might spread the virus. Yeah. Now that the virus has been quite subdued here in Thailand, so now the government is allowing us to have our holiday back.
Very generous.
it also wants to stimulate the tourist industry, because right now we don't have any foreigner coming in. So we rely on the local people spending money on their trips. So they have 4 day holiday to encourage people to go and spend their holiday on the resort. Yeah.
I heard Thailand is doing pretty good in terms of the control of the infection now.
Yes, we just have one local case yesterday after 100 days of no cases.
Yeah.
So we most of the cases we had were just returnees from abroad.
Oh.
And all returnees had to be quarantined before they can be allowed to go do whatever they want to do. 2-week quarantine. But we have one local case. Found out this guy used to work as a DJ. So now they have to start tracing back his contact. So I don't know how the situation gonna be like. So far, so good. Yeah. So how's your practice? You have any question regarding your practice?
I guess I just told you that I took a break because of my sickness, and then I think that's okay, right? Just a few days, and then I'll go back.
Okay.
Just the body just feel like drowsy, always just want to lie down. I couldn't really.
If your body is not well, then you just have to wait for it to get better. But you can still meditate in bed. So you can still watch your breath. You can still recite the 32 parts of the body.
I try. It's quite hard, and I listen to Dhamma talk instead because I find it a bit hard. I'm not used to lying down, and I'm not sure if that's an excuse. I find it hard, so I listen to Dhamma talk.
Yeah, you should not waste your time doing something else. If you're in bed, sick in bed, if you can do something, study the Dhamma, listening to Dhamma talk, or just focus on your breath, recite a mantra, or recite the 32 parts. Then you are taking advantage of your sickness.
Well, Ajahn, we try to. We already we don't go out for to restaurants. We try to abstain from like going out or going to movies or restaurants, and we don't travel any. We decided that we won't travel anymore. But at night, like when I dream, a lot of my dreams are traveling. Like, is that because unconsciously I still want to travel?
Yes, your mind used to think about these things. So when you go to sleep, it creates these trips in your mind, in your dreams. So don't worry, whatever you dream is just a dream. Good or bad dreams, they come and go. It's just an indication of the state of mind your mind is, whether your mind is still involved with whatever, then you usually come up in your dream.
So I haven't really let go of those things, I guess.
This takes time, see. So this takes time for you before you have to stop traveling for a while, and then this thought will then disappear from your mind.
Okay. I don't have to be concerned. Just keep.
You don't have to worry about it, as long as you don't do it, when in your waking hours. So maybe this is just an escape for the mind. Once it can do it actively, then it do it passively in dreams.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ajahn, as for me, like I try to memorize the sutta like Anapanasati, trying to recite, right, before like meditation. And I come across like fading away, like in that sutta, right? Would you be able to briefly like explain, like in the sutta you were saying like, contemplating like fading away?
Can you speak a bit louder? I couldn't
Yeah.
quite.
Right now I'm trying to memorize like Anapanasati Sutta, and then I encounter like in one paragraph it was saying like contemplating fading away, I will breathe in, right? Contemplating fading away, I will breathe out. So can you like briefly explain like what it means by fading away before cessation, right?
I think you don't need to follow the sutta entirely. All you need just to observe your breath. You don't want to contemplate when you meditate for calm. I think that's maybe more advanced, in a more advanced stage. But in the beginning stage, you just want to observe your breath, in and out breath, and knowing whether it is short or long, subtle or coarse, for instance. But that's all you have to do. Just keep watching. Don't contemplate it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not contemplate when I recite. I just want to develop mindfulness. But I just thought like, I encountered this phrase, right? Fading away. I just don't really know what it means.
Uh-huh. Sometimes things get lost in the translation. So if you don't understand it, then just forget it. As far as Anapanasati is concerned, you just have to watch your breath. That's all. Focus on your breath. So your mind can become one.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
all.
Yeah. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, let me go to another person. Okay. Alfredo. Alfredo, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Bante.
Okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm practicing a little, practice normally. I'm good. I practice your teachings about three phases, né? The first Sutta Mayapana, Chinta Mayapana, and Bhavana Mayapana.
Yes.
And it's okay. I'm looking for. I am a little alone. Né? Is there alone is a problem?
No, good. It's a benefit to be alone. Then you don't have to be involved with other people. The Buddha said, as a meditator, you should try to seek seclusion all the time. Only socialize when you really have to. Otherwise, just be alone.
Yes.
Then you can focus on your meditation object. Then you can focus on your mindfulness. Then you will advance in your practice this way. If you're involved with people, you will be entangled up with them and you will get nowhere. So look at the Buddha when he became enlightened. He sat alone under a Bodhi tree. He's not surrounded by people.
Yes.
Be alone. Then your mind can then go inside. See? The goal is to go inside, not to come outside. But the defilement want us to come outside. They want us to go see people and things and do things with them. But then we get dukkha from doing that. But it's difficult to be alone because we are not used to be alone. When we have to be alone, we feel lonely. So you have to overcome this feeling by concentrating on your meditation, mindfulness, to prevent your mind from thinking and desiring to meet people, to be with people. Then your loneliness will disappear. Then you'll find that being alone is much better than being with people. Because when you're alone, then your mind can become calm and peaceful. But when you're with people, you have to react to them. Okay?
Yes.
Nice talking to you, Alfredo.
Thanks, Bante. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Matt, you have anything to say?
Yeah, hi, Bante. It's good to see you. Yeah, I've just noticed that my practice tends to kind of go in waves, where sometimes I'll get really into it and then I will kind of start getting more caught up in the world. And then the dukkha will kind of build up and I'll kind of see what I'm doing and go back to my practice. Although I've been doing this for about 10 years. So I've noticed that I've been practicing more and getting caught up less. But yeah, I feel like I was just wondering if you could comment on that.
This is just the normal thing for beginners. They still sort of straddling themselves between two worlds, the world of working and the world of meditation. And the world of working is a lot stronger to resist. And the world of meditation is a lot harder to get into. So what you need, the key to do this, that is to develop more mindfulness. If you have more mindfulness, then you will be capable of controlling your mind better. You can pull your mind away from the working world and then force your mind to go into the meditation world. So this is the key. You have to try to develop as more mindfulness as you can. You can do this, like I said, from the time you get up. As soon as you open up your eyes, focus on your body or use a mantra, rather than thinking about all sorts of things that you don't really need to think about. And then just keep concentrating on your body activity as you go on in your daily life. Then you'll find that you'll have a lot more calm. Your mind becomes a lot more empty, and you'll find that you appreciate having mindfulness. And when you meditate, you'll find it easier to become calm and peaceful. So this is the key that you have to do. Sitting in meditation is second. Before you can sit successfully, even have the desire to sit, you have to have mindfulness first. If you don't have mindfulness, your defilement will keep pushing you away from meditation. Every time you think about meditation, you say, oh, maybe I'll wait, I'll do it tomorrow, or so forth. I have some other thing to do. But if you have mindfulness, then you can curb this defilement and do things that you should do. If you have to do anything, you should use reason, rationality, rather than emotion or feelings. If you base your action on your feelings, then it's all defilement. Your feelings, emotional defilement. So you have to use rationality. Even though you don't feel like doing it, you say, well, it's time to do it. If you don't do it, when are you going to do it? Because you'll keep putting it off. Oh, tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, oh, maybe I have something else to do. Then you'll keep pushing it away. So you should set up a schedule for your practice, and then stick to it when the time comes, whether you feel like doing it or not. But with mindfulness, you have to do it all the time.
Yeah, I just got
yeah.
Yeah, I just got a new job, so I guess I need to reschedule things and work things out to find a new schedule. Because that's probably why I got more caught up, is getting back caught up in work.
Uh-huh. Having a schedule is important, so then you can really do it. Yeah. If you just let your feeling decide to be the schedule, then you just might not be able to do more than what you need to do. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Where's Emily?
She's working right now.
Oh, she's working. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go talk to somebody else then, okay? Okay, Soling, you got anything to say?
Not today. Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. I'm just listening.
Okay. Then let me go to Paul. Something is wrong with my...
Hi, Ajahn. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing well. My practice is okay. I could structure my meditation a little bit better, but I've been listening to Dhamma talks quite a bit and studying and whatnot. But I need to get, like you were saying about structure, I need to get in more of a routine and have a regular practice. I was wondering if you have any comments about the idea of self-esteem along the path, like confidence and self-esteem, and then on the other hand, we feel as if ego is the problem, so we get rid of ego, and then sometimes we have this idea like not taking ourselves seriously, and sometimes that's a view that I fall into where I feel as if that's being without ego or not being egotistical by being able to laugh at myself for some of the things that I do and things like that. But at a certain point, I think there's character traits that we need to respect within ourselves also. Do you have any comments on that?
Yes, you should suppress yourself as much as possible. Try to treat yourself like a piece of rag, a piece of dirt. Then you don't have to worry about your self-esteem. Okay? Because self is really an illusion in the first place, and it can become a hindrance to your practice. So try to put down yourself as much as possible. Think of yourself as the lowest rung on the pecking order. The Buddha says, think of yourself as the earth, where people can trample upon, can do anything with the earth. And then this way you don't have to worry about how people will treat you. And you don't have to worry about self-esteem. There's no self, so why should there be esteem for ourselves, right? It's just an illusion. Don't forget about the self if you can, really. And just concentrate on the knower. You're the knower, you're not the self. And you don't need to react to anybody or anything. Your principal function is to know, that's all, to acknowledge, to know what's going on, to know what people say to you, good or bad, just know, no need to react. But your defilement comes in and say, no, they have to be nice to me, they have to be kind to me. If they're not, then I'm angry or I'm sad. If that's a self, then you have problem, you have emotion involved. But if there's no self, it's just a knowing, then you just have the rationality working. You just know and just listen or see, and then do or react accordingly, not out of emotion, but out of the need to react. If there's no need to react, then you just don't react. Like people say bad thing about you, there's no need to react, so don't react. If they say, can you please help me carry this load? Okay, then you say, okay, I will help you, for instance. But no emotion involved. Try to be the knower and not the self. When you become a self, then you have to react, right? But when you become a knower, then there's no. The Buddha said, what you see, just merely see. What you hear, just merely hear. What you think, just merely think. What you know, just merely know. Don't react with defilements, with desire, with cravings, with like or dislike.
Is there some type of the confidence along the path of though? Sometimes I don't practice because I feel as if, oh, okay, nothing matters. You know, everything is non-self. Everything is impermanent. In a way, sometimes I feel like that mindset keeps me from actually practicing. Like I don't have, I guess coming back to an idea of like pride for your family. I know in Thailand, the family members, they ordain temporarily for their parents and things of that for family pride. Is there anything like that that's important, or should we just completely kind of disregard that and then be a bit diligent about, you know, structuring our meditation?
Yes, because there's no self. So once there's no self, there's no pride. You know. If you think of pride, then you're still thinking about yourself, your family. But when you look at your family and yourself, they are all knowers. They are not human. They are not people. They are not family. You know, the body are just four elements. That's all, which come to exist temporarily. Then eventually it will then disappear from the earth. So there's really nothing in this world. This world is empty of anything. But we make them up like a story. Yeah. We put names, labels on each body, and then their status and their history and so forth. And then we become involved with the stories. But the true self, they're just a knower, and the body are just the four elements. Try to look in the absolute sense of the truth, not the relative sense or the conventional sense of the truth. We live with the conventional truth. Father, mother, sister, husband, wife, sons and daughter, possession, money. These are all, they are material. They all come from the four elements. They're either earth, fire, or air in combination, in some sort of combination, some form of combination. But they are all four elements. And when your body breaks down, you don't take anything with you, right? The knower doesn't take anything with it. It doesn't take wife or husband with it when the body dies. You have to try to think in this sense, in this term, in order for you to be able to leave everything alone.
In the absolute sense, okay. Yeah. So the energy that gets us to do that, to see things in a sense, is that reflecting on suffering. When we reflect on suffering, that kind of gets us on the path to be able to.
Well, if you think, if you have suffering, then you should force your mind to think this way. Then your suffering will disappear. Your suffering arises from your attachment to the conventional truth. But when you look at the absolute truth, then there will be no suffering. But you also have to navigate between these two truths. When you're alone, you can mainly use the absolute truth. But when you're with other people, then you have to use the conventional truth to deal with them also. So you have to be careful if you're using the absolute truth. This is only for your personal use inside your mind. But when you are involved with other people or things, then you have to use conventional truth to deal with them. Or you say, oh, everything is element, there's nothing I have to do. I don't have to pay taxes, I don't have to pay rent, I don't have to eat. You know, you still have to do these things, you know. But inside your mind, you have to have the absolute truth behind your mind all the time. That this is just a temporary thing we do on this earth. It's like role acting. It's like a play we are playing. We take the role of a person, and then we have to play this role until the end of it. So long as we know it's just playing, role playing, it's temporary, it's not real, then there will be no suffering. Suffering comes when you think this is real. You know, I'm rich, I'm going to hold on to my money. I'm going to use my money to buy all the things I want to buy, do all the things I want to do. Yes, you can do that, but once you do it, it's finished, it's gone, right? You're back to where you are, where you were before that. You're still empty and you're still lacking. No matter how much you do, how much you have, how much you get. So you have to know that this is conventional. They're never satisfying. True contentment comes from peace, from meditation, from being the knower. You can remain just the knower, then you can have contentment that way. Because the knower doesn't need anything, doesn't need to have anything to make it happy. All the knower needs is to have equanimity, calm. So that's why you have to develop the jhanas. Once you get the jhana, then you can then be the real knower. Otherwise, you will still be Paul, you still be Czech or Sri, and so forth. Because you're still, what you call, within the realm of conventional truth. That's only when you enter into jhana, that's when you leave the conventional truth temporarily. That's when you exist alone as a knower. So once you get to that point, then you want to bring that with you when you come out of meditation. You say, "Oh, I'm not Paul now. I'm just a knower." Yeah. So whatever I do as a knower more than as a Paul. But since I still involved with other people, I still have to use the Paul from time to time. But for most of the time, if I don't need to use the Paul, then I just use the knower instead. Just merely know.
Okay. Yeah, understand. I've been a bit discouraged about my practice. It seems as if I fall asleep quite a bit when I go to sit meditation. I think that my daily mindfulness isn't good enough, so that my mind is trying to re-energize when I'm on the cushion. But most of the time it's just very sleepy.
Yes, if it's possible, if you begin practicing, you should stop studying the Dhamma. You know too much Dhamma. And this knowing too much of the Dhamma can become a hindrance to your practice of meditation to calm your mind with. So,
okay, understand.
So when you begin to practice, forget about all the things that you have studied or learned. All you want to do is stop your mind from thinking.
Okay.
Sometimes we know too much, and then we use the knowledge that we know to interfere with our practice. We keep thinking, where am I now? Am I according to...
Understand. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. But if you still don't know how to practice, then you should study more. But once you know how to practice, then you should just practice. And then go step by step, study step by step. The first step is to study, to learn how to practice. When you know how to meditate, you can get into the jhana. Then when you come out, then you want to learn how to contemplate. And you study the nature of the body, for instance, the 32 parts and so forth, to see what the body really is. We still think the body is us, but in truth, the body is not us. And this is where we want to go from the point of being me to the point of being the four elements.
Mm. Yeah, I understand that I sometimes indulge in indulge in thinking and studying and things like that, and I feel like I can put it to the side when I meditate, but actually it's kind of more just it's another sense desire of the thinking mind.
Yes.
So I have to eliminate that a little bit.
When you meditate, you want to forget about everything that you have studied. Don't get it. Don't involve them with your meditation. Just concentrate when you meditate. Concentrate on your breath or concentrate on your mantra. That's all.
So that could be during like retreat time as well, like for long periods of time.
Yes, if you haven't yet got into jhana, then you should not worry about contemplation. Really. Except if you can use contemplation to calm your mind, sometimes you can use that. Long Ta said this is wisdom developed samadhi, but not for the purpose of vipassana. It's for the purpose of calming your mind.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Let me go to the next person. Hi, Hadika. Hadika, you have to unmute you. Okay. How are you? You're a friend of Soling, right? I understand. You have to unmute your microphone. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, I'm a friend of Xiaoling.
It's right next to you on the screen. You see her?
I see her, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? Anything in particular?
Just my practice isn't very strong lately, so I'm not sitting to practice as much as I have been in the past. So listening to these talks is really helpful to bring my focus back, and bring my mindfulness back. So I try and be as mindful as I can with all my activities, when I wake up and when I'm making a cup of tea or eating mindfully without listening to the radio or having something in the background. So thank you for giving your time, so this is really helpful. Watching this is helping me become more mindful again.
Yes, good. Okay. Anybody who wants to ask more questions can raise your hand and I'll unmute your microphone for you. Nobody? Okay, Lily. Okay, Lily, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. I just want to ask if, this experience is something that is on track, or maybe you can give guidance. So I know that I'm very lazy too, Ajahn. So what I did was I lead the chanting session at 6 a.m. My local time, and with a bunch of friends who dial into like a virtual platform. So that way I'm forced to be in there. So we have like half an hour chanting, and then we have half an hour meditation. So within that meditation, I used to be like falling asleep as well, but now I'm actually much better. I thought it was because that inside the meditation, I'm kind of like looking for something, looking for a experience, looking for that sensation. And that's why I'm like fully awake. But at the same time, I'm not sure, because like you just mentioned earlier that, we should let go everything. And so because of that, I think sometimes my mind become active too. So I just want to check in with you to see if that type of experience is actually okay. But I know that I'm not improving as well. Because I know sometimes I can actually get to that tranquility for like few minutes, but then I easily lost it. Then it come back again, but then I easily lost it again. So
this is usually happen when you first started. What you should do is just keep on focusing on your meditation object.
okay.
Don't go away from it. Stick to it.
Okay.
Sometimes when
Okay.
you can stick to it for a few minutes, then you stop, and then you get this result of of calm and then not calm, back and forth. So you just want to keep on focusing on your meditation object.
Okay.
Don't stay away from it. If you want to eventually get to a point where your mind can become completely calm and peaceful, then when you get there, it will be automatic. You don't have to focus on your meditation object after that.
Okay.
But if you're still not calm, not feel like ecstasy, let's put it that way, this state of calm is really a blissful state, something that you never experienced before. But once you get to that, you'll know. If you haven't got there yet, then just keep on focusing on your meditation object. And don't anticipate when is this gonna happen. Don't anticipate. Just pretend you're not knowing anything. You just focusing on your meditation object.
And sometimes I got too excited, and then I was like, okay, am I losing it? And then so it become like paying attention more, but then losing it even faster.
Then you're not focusing on your breath, on your meditation object. You're into something else.
Yes.
So you don't get where you should be going.
Okay. Okay.
It's riding in a car, if you want to go from one point A to point B, you have to stay in the car all the time. If you get out of the car, then you won't get there. Sometimes you drive halfway and you see something on the road and you get out of the car. And you don't get there. So you have to keep staying inside the car and forget about everything that you might come across. Ignore them. Even though you might feel good or anything like that, you're still not there. Just tell yourself, I'm still not there. I still have on focusing more.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ajahn.
But it's normal to be easily distracted because our mind is constantly distracted all the time. Because we don't have enough mindfulness to keep it from distracted. So you still need to develop a lot of mindfulness before you meditate.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I have the second question, Ajahn.
Let's go ahead.
Yeah. I used to actually get angry very quickly with my children. Very quickly. They irritate me, annoy me. I thought I became much better recently. I mean, I used to actually count a smiley face, and in a month, I only have like probably 2 smiley face in a day. Nowadays, I think the smiley face can be, can be more in a month. But I feel like recently it came back again, like these past 2 days, I just snapped at them, like this morning too. I stare like a way to actually, I realized it and then try to actually control it, but it was like so hard to control. Is there any guidance that you can give us?
That's because you lost it. When you're mindful, then you can control your emotions. But as soon as you're not controlling your thoughts, mindful, then you can be attacked at any time without knowing it. So just this is considered normal, that you have lapses in your mindfulness, lapses in your guard. You have to always constantly guard in your mind. Sometimes you might feel complacent and say, "Oh, I have no anger anymore. I'm doing okay."
Yes.
And that's when you get attacked. So
I know. I thought, oh, I'm getting much better now, but then it turns out that it's still there.
Yeah, be vigilant.
Yes.
This is a reminder that you're still not there. You still have to be vigilant. You still have to be mindful.
Okay. Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's it, Ajahn. Thank you.
Anybody else? I think we reached about the 1 hour mark right now. So if I'll let you have a few more questions if you like. If not, I would have to leave you pretty soon. Anybody got anything else? Okay, back to Lily Siswanto again. Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. The other thing that I do is during meditation, sometimes I count my breath, like 1 to 10 and go back to 1. I asked few teachers, some said I should not count my breath. Some said, yes, you can count my breath. What do you think by counting breath?
It's like using chanting, this is like another form of chanting. Instead of chanting, you use counting the breath as a chanting. This is the method to help you calm your mind, to concentrate your mind. But eventually you have to stop counting and just keep watching. Because if you keep counting, then your mind will still be active. Then it will not become still. See? You only use it to calm your mind when your mind is restless. When you find that you cannot concentrate on your breath, then you might need to use the counting to force it to concentrate on your breath. But once you can then concentrate on your breath without counting, then you should stop counting. Or else you won't go any further than that. See? You won't go any farther than that if you keep counting. Because your counting is keeping your mind busy. You want to stop the mind from being busy. You just want the mind to be knowing or watching, that's all. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Naomi, you got anything to say before we go? Okay, go ahead.
Well, I find that my mind is usually actually like it's easier to calm down when I first sit down, and then that's the time if I'm gonna gain some samadhi. It's usually soon after. Well, not always, but usually it's soon after I sit down, and then after a long time of sitting, that's when I start getting more restless and more pains come up, and then that's when I start chanting. But actually, I guess it depends. So I don't know. Is that correct? What I'm doing?
Yes, your mindfulness sort of come and go. See, if your mindfulness is here, then you can be calm and peaceful. But when you lose your mindfulness, then you start to be agitated. So you want to continue on, you just have to force your mindfulness to come upon. Build up your mindfulness by forcing it by using a mantra or chanting. Because if you focus on your breath and you find you cannot do it, it means you don't have enough mindfulness to do it. Then you have to regenerate more mindfulness by doing some chanting, reciting the 32 parts of the body, for instance. Okay. Let me say, how about you, Sri, and check anything? Unmute your phone. Okay.
So, Ajahn, I just have a question is about the noble silence. Like, Buddha wants us to keep like noble silence, like under what circumstances?
Noble silence is to stop you from thinking. You see. When you have to meditate with many people, you tend to think, you want to talk to them. See. So they use it to prevent you from talking. When you don't talk, then you don't think. See. That's all. But if you're alone, you don't have to be noble, silent, because you won't have nobody to talk to when you are anyway.
Yeah, check.
Then you might have to set up the rule. Today, let's observe noble silence.
Yes. Okay. Okay, noble silence. Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else want to say anything?
May I say something?
Okay.
I know you said that you're partially sick, but I'm still very touched that your selflessness of teaching us. Thank you, Ajahn.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn.
Well, it's part of my duties. I'm paid for it. Every day I go collect food, so I have to pay back my due. Or else they won't give me any food.
I don't think so.
Okay, if nobody has anything else to say, let me say goodbye to you all. Thank you for joining this meeting. Nice seeing you all. Nice talking to you. And I hope you keep on practicing. And I'm pretty sure you will keep on moving forward. In the meantime, stay healthy and stay happy. Thank you and goodbye for now.